But other than that, I got a threesome.
Other than that, we just now started to do NFL preview.
Yeah, we're about to talk
Bowl.
Super Bowl. We were complaining, or I was trying to make the point about how the quarterbacks don't really matter that much because we've had Brad Johnson beat MVP Rich Gannon, Trent Dilfer beat Kerry Collins, and everybody knows Kerry Collins can throw better than him. Eli beat Tom Brady twice. Peyton Manning's got one MVP, not two. Eli has more MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs, than Peyton. And Brett Favre's only Super Bowl win, Zach, the kick returner was the MVP.
Desmond Howard.
Not the quarterback. How bad you got to think about who's in that game, too. Bledsoe was in that game. You got Favre and Bledsoe out here slinging around, and the kick returner was the MVP of the football game. How about Dallas Cowboys' third Super Bowl win in the 90s? You remember who the MVP was?
It was Darren Woodson?
No, move your mic a little bit closer.
Was it Darren?
Larry Brown.
Okay, I knew it was I was thinking a DB.
He one pickoff was pretty legit. The other was thrown straight into his stomach. You know who Larry Brown was, Hunter? He was our nickel corner.
Yeah.
It was Dion on one corner, which they didn't even throw to his side. Kevin Smith on the other corner, which was a shutdown corner in itself before Dion even got there. So when Dion come there, there was no passes getting complete.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Brown was the slot, the nickel corner against the Steelers, and they were avoiding Dion, threw two straight to him. Right. Now Dion should probably get half that MVP, shouldn't he?
Right.
Because they didn't even throw to his side. But my point when we was going to this, talking about the Jimmy G thing and Mahomes, and everybody wants to concentrate and talk about the quarterbacks, I almost don't think that's going to be the key to the victory. I think it's going to be the run game. Both teams are averaging 19.2 in defense given up, so I can't pick a better defense. Do you go with the better quarterback, which is everyone will say Mahomes? Garoppolo's been pretty good. Or do you lean on the run game? And right now I'm leaning towards the run game for San Francisco in this game. How do you think or feel about that as well?
I've been thinking San Francisco, I personally think they'll win the game, and I think it's because of their defensive front.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, because I think they have the ability to put enough pressure on Mahomes. They got enough speed to keep him.
So do you think a defensive player will win MVP if it's for the 49ers?
I think it's a good possibility.
What about, all right, so this is another key thing, Hunter, I've been looking at, and I think may play a key in this game.
I'm listening. Continue.
I know, you got to eat Chinese lunch.
Just a little bit. It's going to get a little cold.
You don't want Chinese food to get cold.
No.
So, what, crap, what did I say before you said you're listening?
You're talking about the 49ers.
You're
talking about the 49ers?
Gosh.
Oh, God, I got him off.
You did. You just said something with Chinese food.
He was just mentioning it. Do I
Oh, yeah, I got you. Here's what's going to be the difference that I'm reading right now on some of this stuff is that San Francisco plays zone defense.
Yeah.
All right, Belichick, he likes to play zone.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is when and I don't know why they started using this term. I don't. It's just the freaking option.
Right.
Run pass option.
RPO. Yeah.
If you've ever run the option in your life, a pass is part of the option. Just because the coach don't want you to throw it, like Georgia Southern, they run the option every play. Mm-hmm. Believe me, there's a receiver in there doing something supposed to be every play. Whether or not they ever throw it is something different. But anyway, RPOs. What they were saying was that the 4 games that they struggled this year, it was Wilson and Breeze, but the other 2 games they struggled, both games were against Kyler Murray running the RPOs. They're saying Belichick, what he had a problem with the Eagles was that they were sitting in their zone defense. They started running the option. The RPOs, the option with that in the NFL right now, the way that I was explained, is that they're designed to get you out of the zone defense and have to play man-to-man. And that's why Kansas City will have an advantage if they can force San Francisco out of their cover 3 defense. And kind of what you were talking about, they've got to put pressure with those four men up front.
But Kansas City's worst games they played this year was against man-to-man defense.
Well, that's what they're saying, is that they'd be better against them because of all the speed. So
I don't know.
That's what I said. We keep coming up with. I can't come up with a reason to pick in either team yet. Do you trust Shanahan? He was part of a 28-3 blown lead. I mean, he could have easily been over there saying, "Hey guys, take a knee here. Let's waste 40 seconds,
right?
Instead of throwing a stupid pass." How much time did they waste in that Super Bowl? They went overtime, right?
What?
Against the Falcons.
They went overtime against
They went
Patriots.
overtime. Yeah. Think about it. If they would have just taken one more knee in that game, instead of throwing an incomplete pass in the second half, that's 40 seconds and you don't go to overtime. So a lot of different Jason Garrett lost 3 games the year the Giants won their last Super Bowl. When we looked it up, Zach, and did the timing on it, in the second half, if they would have just done nothing but 3 knees and punt, they'd have won the game. He lost 3 games that way. These coaches, and I say all the time, Hunter,
Yeah.
these coaches need a 12-year-old Madden player
Yeah.
on the
For clock
sideline
management.
for clock management.
Clock management.
You
And
look
that's one thing that Andy
Clock
Reid has
management.
struggled with in his career. Everybody says Andy Reid just doesn't know how to read a
That's
clock.
almost the most important thing for a head coach.
And then you look at the new style that they run. Everybody's wanting to just continue to pass, score, and they don't know how to manage the clock with the run game.
Right.
And that hurts them too.
And there are some teams to where they
Well, that's the Kansas City thing. They're
Yeah.
having problems running the clock out because they
Because
can't
they
run
don't.
it, so they're throwing a lot of swing passes and a lot of check downs.
There are some
as
teams
part of their
too,
run games at the
some
end of the
teams too where they have a quote unquote coach designated to clock management. They'll be walking right next to right next to Andy Reid or right next to Kyle Shanahan, and his job, one, is to make sure he doesn't get on the field when he's not supposed to get on the field, and 2 is clock management. Needs to know when the clock is, needs to tell him if we're running out of time, because they're not paying attention. The head coach has got a million other things he's probably got on his mind besides what is that clock doing.
Zach, I'm gonna get to the Braves question since you're a Braves man. Jumped in a minute ago. We counted up real quick on your thought. We'll get to that in a little bit. Zach's looking at her screen. I was counting how many Braves players you could have for Mike Trout's salary. You don't want to know.
Too many.
It's
too many.
All right, looking at Holmes.
Decimates the Braves.
Looking at Holmes, Holmes and Garoppolo
My
here.
homeboy. Oh, my homeboy.
So, Mahomes threw 8 more passes. Now, we know he missed a couple of games, but that's not the point. The point is these numbers are going to be pretty close because he threw 8 passes. 8 more passes. Try my best to highlight at least one of them. So, in 8 more passes, Mahomes had 53 yards more. Mahomes averaged 8.3, Garoppolo 8.4 yards per pass. Long 75 for Garoppolo. Mahomes 83 touchdowns.
83.
Touchdowns and interceptions 27-13 for Garoppolo.
He turns the ball over.
26-5 for Patrick Mahomes. So there may be something you look at, Hunter, might be the key, is the Garoppolo turnover factor, and is that why maybe Shanahan was not allowing him to throw it last week? 13 picks. There's only 16 games in a season, so that's 1 a game about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jameis over here throwing 2 a game like the rest of the league, but still. 13 is double-digit interceptions. I mean, there's about 10 to 15. About half the league has double digits. There's only a few that don't. Russell Wilson didn't. Brady didn't. Derek Carr. Carson Wentz. No, I was reading that wrong. Yeah, I was reading that wrong. Carson Wentz, Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers don't throw picks. Cousins don't really throw picks. There's your boy
Jackson.
Gardner Minshew. Lamar. And Lamar don't. And that's the same thing with Cam. Look at Josh Allen, 9-2. There's a point where you're so inaccurate, you don't throw picks.
It just
You see what I mean?
It was away from everybody.
Zach, Cam, when he misses, where does he miss?
High.
How many safeties stand 10 yards behind the receivers waiting on the ball?
Right.
So a lot of the guys with low completion percentage, you're like, well, they don't throw that many picks. Yeah, because they're nowhere near them.
Right.
And some of the guys that do throw a lot of picks, so like Brett Favre, he would try to squeeze it into places, and then some of these guys won't. I think Jameson's got a lot of that. Jameson's biggest thing watching him is he holds the ball entirely too long.
I don't think Jameis can see well. Dude,
That's
I'm
what Hunter
serious.
says.
I say it every time. Every
really-
time they show him on the sidelines, he is looking at the scoreboard like this.
Does he squint at the scoreboard?
He squints.
I have to look.
I'm telling you, I don't think he sees past the middle linebacker. I don't think he does.
I think his windup also hurts him overall. It gives
Allows the defenders to break on it.
Exactly.
Because you see the arm
Yep.
moving more.
That's what I think. I think they have. You talk about
He's got a baseball windup.
instant second, time lapse.
He's a baseball player.
You know, he was a
Wasn't he a
baseball
pitcher?
player. Yeah. Well,
Was he an
I
outfielder?
thought it was the outfielder.
Talk about time lapse and that, and these guys are professionals. They
'Cause he played
they
at
get a
Florida
half
State.
a second.
Mm-hmm.
They could make a play
yeah.
on a ball. Then if somebody's just coming out, boom, 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 gone.
Right.
And then he winds up.
Well,
So
a lot
I
of
think-
DBs, especially if you know you got one that throws picks, you'll bait/deke the quarterback into where and just playing DB myself, you can't stop every pass. you can't stop every play. So what you do is based on where the receiver lines up and what the quarterback does, you sit there and line up and say, all right, I'm going to take this, this, and this away. If he throws this, I just got to make the tackle because you can't take everything away. So what I'm thinking, just as a DB, if I'm playing against Jameis, I was pulling that up just for Hunter. If I'm playing DB against a quarterback that throws a lot of picks, what I would do, Zach, is that I run on his back hip instead of because I don't want the quarterback to know he's covered. You understand what I mean? Like, I want the quarterback to think he's open. I'll run on his back hip, and then when he throws it, I can cut under. If he throws a great pass, I'm beat. Fine, whatever. But against a quarterback that throws picks, I'm sitting on that back hip. Throw it. I'm gonna make a break on it and see if something happens. Hunter talking about Jameis can't see. I just pulled that up online. Let me pull it up for you folks online so y'all can see. There you go. Here's a Jameis can't. When you might not be able to see the article, is Jameis still squinting, having trouble with his vision. This is in 2019. So Hunter, you might be onto something with this. Talking about reading defenses and stuff.
I was hearing rumors, and just people were speculating it. And the more you watched, and the more they would do little cutaways on Jameis, he always is squinting.
All right, it says he needs contact lenses, but don't like wearing them.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Imagine if he had contacts. He already threw for 30 touchdowns. Imagine.
I'd put that in his contract as an incentive. You get $500,000 more if you wear your contacts every game.
If he doesn't want to wear contacts, put the goggles on, man. Wear the glasses.
You can put rec specs on. Yeah. But I'm sure he'll be made fun of forever for that. But
not if who cares if you win championships?
He can afford LASIK surgery.
He can
easily afford LASIK surgery.
I just wear the rec specs and get the advertising off of it.
That's a good idea. Get a contract off of it on the rec specs. That's a great idea, Zach. Get the sponsorship.
You look at Kareem when he was out there. Even
he didn't have a sponsor, did he?
No, all them years. How much?
Eric Dickerson.
He could have had
that's what Antonio Brown.
Pictures.
Antonio Brown tried to do that with a helmet. Mm-hmm. He got a helmet sponsorship during all the helmet scandal he had going on. He got a helmet sponsorship.
Dickerson looked like he was skiing out there with his on, with that helmet on too, because the skiers will have the goggles on over your helmets.
I'll say this. We're speaking on accuracy and quarterbacks. Is this the end of the Saints dynasty? Possibly with Drew Brees taking a month to mull retirement options.
There are some very weird things with that. I'm starting to get worried. I really am.
And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, look, because they gave him one of the final snaps in the Pro Bowl to Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. Sean Payton come out and said that he is not opposed to Taysom Hill being the successor to Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. And then Alvin Kamara came out and said he's giving Drew Brees as much space as he needs to mull over
to think about
retirement. This is a story that people were kind of talking about just as he started to get age, but now it has become a whole lot more serious with Drew Brees coming out and saying he's going to take a month to think about it.
The way I'm seeing that and the way he's acting, the way they're acting, and this is what I think it's done. I think. No, I think he's thinking about it. Obviously, he said he's thinking about it.
Right.
Two things. When you're thinking about it, you're already done.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I think this is more about his children than it is about his ability to play football. Obviously, he can play some football. They've lost 3 years in a row. I can only say the way they've lost, he has to want to come back. Obviously, I think that's the deal.
Yeah.
My thing is that I'm starting to think Hunter is he loves his kids. He takes them everywhere. He led the league in 74% completion. I mean, folks, he's 39, 38, 39 years old. That's amazing.
No, I think he's 40.
He can't see over his line.
I think he's 40.
Yeah.
I think he's 40.
I mean, that's amazing.
They say
74%.
The height that he is, if you watch him play and he goes back in his step, if you watch his neck.
Yeah.
He always has to angle his
neck. He gets up
so
on tiptoes.
So he can see over those guys. So it's amazing that he's got that. And if Hunter might be too young for this. I don't know. It'd be the year that he left San Diego and went to New Orleans. I would say 2003 possibly. Y'all remember when all that came out, Dante Culpepper was the big.
Yeah, Saban. That was Saban.
You're right.
He
Saban
chose
with the
Culpepper over Drew Brees.
Right. And but in his
Saban
defense,
with the Dolphins.
in his defense, well, both of them were hurt, I believe. I think Culpepper had a knee,
They didn't know if Drew Brees could come off of this injury.
he really. If you look
Because
at
of the
the
surgery.
video of what Drew Brees when he was tackled, I believe it was almost in the end zone. They were backed up. His shoulder was just destroyed.
The worst thing with the quarterbacks and the hits over the years, it's not that them getting blown up from behind and fumbling. I think that's okay.
It's getting landed on.
It's the landing on the shoulders. Romo got hurt that way twice. Tons of quarterbacks have got hurt when
Aaron
they fall.
Rodgers.
When they fall on their shoulders, 300 pounds on your chest and shoulders. That's the biggest thing. These quarterbacks can either be
Collarbone injuries.
These quarterbacks can either be blown up and knocked straight down on the ground,
Yeah.
or wrapped up and tackled like a regular tackle.
Because that's what we've seen with Aaron Rodgers and with Tony Romo. A lot of time was a collarbone.
Well, Thomas Davis did Tony Romo wrong. You folks can go watch that all you want to. That was 100% on his shoulder, and he picked him up and put him on his shoulder. So Thomas Davis is going down in the dirty book for me, as always will.
TD.
I mean, that was a ridiculous play. So that concerns me. And then you're talking about the thing with the Panthers. If Cam was coming back and going to be their quarterback, they would have already said that.
Yeah.
Would they have not already said,
he's
Cam's
not
my
coming
quarterback. He's coming back. The coach would be in like
Yeah.
1,000 Instagram posts with Cam
And
Newton.
this is what I'm thinking, though, as well. So Sean Payton came out and said that he's not opposed to having Taysom Hill becoming a successor. Well, does that mean Teddy Bridgewater's fair game?
Obviously.
As of right now, that Teddy Bridgewater,
He's a
if
free
a
agent.
team wants to come after him, the Saints are probably not going to re-sign him. I mean, he just went 5-0 for you.
Right. I mean, I think so too, Hunter. I mean, I agree. I just I don't know what they're going.
I think
this may be the most interesting quarterback offseason
It's going to be
in the
because
history of the NFL.
you got the draft too.
Well, and the Chargers officially came out and said that Phillip Rivers is no longer with the organization.
Well, he moved, so we knew that was definitely going to happen.
We knew that was going to happen, but now the Chargers have come out and made it official. So the first domino has officially fallen. The Chargers don't have a quarterback.
I'd like to see him land in Tampa Bay. I know we talked with Andre about that before, but I like to see him land in Tampa Bay. I think
If
that'd be
he
really
even
good
wants
for
to
them.
play, think about it.
He does. He's already said he's playing.
He's playing.
He
He
said
said
he's playing.
Okay.
He said it might not be in San Diego, but I'm
And
gonna
Miami
play
needs a
next year.
quarterback, but Miami.
Miami likes Tua.
That's
From what I've
yeah.
seen, they like Tua.
But you
So
could
if they
still
can get
bring
him at
Phillip
5.
Rivers in and then let Tua heal up. You see what? I mean, you could do both.
Rivers is going to be. See, all these quarterbacks have their own specifics, and then you got to figure out which teams are going to match up with them. To me, honestly, Rivers will be great in Tennessee. You got to look at teams that immediately could win. Miami don't want nothing to do with it. They got a fifth.
If you're Tom or Phillip, even Drew, if you didn't want to play for the Saints, you want. Hey, it got to be win now.
Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis.
Why not?
I think the Tennessee
Phillip
spot
Rivers
would be
in
really, really good.
Indianapolis.
You think the Tennessee spot would be nice?
Really good.
They got the run game. He doesn't have to throw it 30
They got
times.
good
If
wide
I'm Rivers, I look at
A.J.
Indy.
Brown is a
If I'm
stud.
Rivers, I look at Indy, Tennessee, and Tampa. All of them offer chances to probably have a chance of winning now. I wouldn't think about Miami unless nobody else will give you a job, and it's not looking like that's going to be the case.
Because he doesn't want to go down there as a retirement plan. He wants to win.
Well, Miami hasn't replaced Dan Marino. They don't be messing around signing 35-year-old quarterbacks. They got to get it right at some point. They need to draft quarterback almost every round. Dallas found one in the fourth. Take one in the first 4 rounds each round. Make them play each other. We talked about Zach. Dallas drafted Steve Walsh and Troy Aikman back-to-back years.
They did.
Those
And Steve
number
Walsh
one
was supposed to be
picks.
better. I
Right.
was relieved than Troy Aikman was. And was Steve Walsh Jimmy Johnson's guy?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was. I thought he was.
So Aikman
Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins both started in the Pro Bowl this year for the NFC. Both were 3rd and 4th round draft
Bringing
picks.
that up, Kirk Cousins was drafted with RG3.
RG3.
They
Same
drafted them
draft.
both
Same draft.
in the middle.
Washington. and
both
neither
of
one
them's in the
was
league, and
Washington.
neither one of them's in Washington. What y'all doing?
And both of them, fun fact, both of them were in the playoffs. RG3 was the backup in Baltimore, and Kirk Cousins was with the Vikings. Guess what? Kirk Cousins won a playoff game, too. He won a playoff game.
Yeah, he did.
Thanks, Washington. The NFC Championship matchup was against LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan. Guess what? They were both in Washington's building.
Here's the
Thanks,
play.
Washington.
All right, so I forgot to add this weekend's game. So Garoppolo won one, and Mahomes got him another. All right, So, Zach, here's the quarterback wins.
I think Mahomes is what, 3?
4.
4?
Here's quarterback wins since Garoppolo's got 2, right? Or just 1? Yeah, he's got 2. He won 2 this year. So he's got to have 2. That's right. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
he's got
add them
2.
yet. Quarterback wins since Cam last won a playoff game. That means beating, was it the Eagles or the Seahawks to make it to the Super Bowl? So the following week, someone else won the game, right? That's Peyton Manning. Here's all the quarterbacks and how many playoff wins they've won since Cam his last win. Cousins, 1. Garoppolo, 2. Tannehill, 2. Watson, 1. Mahomes, 4. Wilson, 2. Rivers, 1. Dak, 1. Luck, 1. Keenum, 1. Peyton, 1. Osweiler, 1. Mariota, 1. Goff, 2. Breeze, 2. Bortles, 2. Rodgers, 3. Roethlisberger, 2. Matt Ryan, 3. Nick Foles, 4. And Tom Brady, 8. That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 quarterbacks have won a playoff game since Cam Newton last won one, including multiples, again, 4 from Nick Foles, who's got more than Cam ever has. Bortles has won 2.
He's
They
a
had
backup
really good
for the
team that year.
Rams.
Tannehill's won 2. Garoppolo, of course, won 2.
Nick Foles won a championship.
It's going to be an interesting year in football.
I mean,
the
what-
quarterbacks moving around.
I think that's what makes this offseason so interesting. Because, most offseasons, you're just like, okay, get to the draft. And when
Right.
the draft is done, just get me to OTAs and spring training.
What if Cam goes to Tennessee?
That would be wonderful for
I don't
him.
think that'd
I
be
think
a
that's
bad-
his best move. I really think that's
'cause
his
You got
best
that
move.
big guy in the back and him too. I mean,
You can run the option.
Remember how good they were together with the running game that he had?
I wouldn't be surprised to
Look,
see
if-
Cam in Tampa.
If Cam,
He's from Atlanta,
I hope so.
but he's from Atlanta, and he's got those big receivers. That would be perfect. That's what he needs.
And here's
He
the
needs
thing.
help. And
I don't
Tennessee's got big receivers too.
I don't want
they
to
do.
come across as a Cam hater. Because it's not that I hate him. It's just one of those things where, I think me and Kevin are in the same boat. And obviously,
same thing
and
with-
you're one of the
it's the
things
same
with
thing
the
with Trout.
Panthers. And
I'm
you're one
gonna
of the things
say
with
the
Panthers.
facts.
It's just opening up people's eyes and saying, look, he just might not be the greatest thing since sliced bread like you think he is. But here's the thing. If he goes to another team and has success, it's just because they found the way to use him. And it's not that I think, he didn't have success in Carolina. He had a little bit. And, yeah, sure, he won an MVP, but he's not been the same since. He's not. And as an organization, you have to look at it with your eyes wide open and saying, well, do we want to go 8-8 or lower every year? Or can we go out here, make some moves, and build
Well,
up?
Tevin
without
already
him?
said he wasn't going to be mediocre. Is what Tevin said.
Well, I mean, and he's not afraid to spend money. I mean, look, now possibility of Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers being on the market. Well, Phillip Rivers is officially on the market.
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's on the market. If you don't want to rebuild with a new quarterback out of the draft, why would you not take Teddy Bridgewater? He's the only one out of the free agents who's really got a track record if your name isn't Andy Dalton.
What we got? That donuts. Where'd you get that from? I was about to say, you can't eat those. So I know those are probably for sale
I'm good.
$1 a piece.
I had Japanese before I got here.
I don't know. You can join us if you want. We were just talking about where your quarterback was going to be, who your quarterback is going to be this year.
Cam Newton.
Cam or Phillip Rivers?
He said,
Who's going to be there?
He said, Jameis. You know why? Because Jameis
Hey,
balling.
Andre,
He balling.
Jameis is refusing to wear his contacts. Hunter's been saying that for months, and we just found out on the internet he doesn't wear his contacts. There you go. $30 million, put your contacts in. That's what I would tell him, wouldn't you? Tell you what, I'll give you $25 million a year. You put your contacts in right now.
Right now.
In this meeting.
And we'll,
Right
we'll
now.
call and get him. Get him.
I understand a little like middle schooler learning to put them in for the first time, but come on, champ. Come on. You're like 25. Let's do this.
We can get him a thing at Lens Crafters or something.
Listen, I had LASIK. I had wore contacts in high school during sports. It was a huge...
I still wear contacts.
It was a huge
Improvement.
difference
On the field.
on hitting wise in baseball. Football, I didn't really need it that much, I don't think. But like just the fact of just seeing 20/20 and not seeing 20, folks, is people that wear glasses, they know it's just a big thing. And then I had LASIK when I was 21. That's when they recommend it. Is wait until that's when your eyes are fully developed. So it didn't help. The LASIK didn't help me out in high school, obviously. Yeah.
Mine are screwed. I'm 23 and they haven't got no better. Yeah, I'm screwed.
You can go.
Yeah, just price.
It's a weird surgery. I will say that. Probably the weirdest thing that's ever been done to me or happened to me in my life. You sit there with your eyes. They pretty much toothpick tape your eyes wide open. Zach. So you can't blink. And the so what they have to do is they have to cut the layer that's on top of your eye, and they peel it back, kind of like an orange, right? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Hunter, you can see it. So just picture, you're looking right now at the screen, and you can see a layer of your eye be peeled back. I mean, you can see it come off your eye. So what they do is they peel that off, and then they tape it down, and then the laser shoots in your eye and cuts off the cornea, I guess, or whatever. I might be getting a little bit of that wrong. But that was weird. Really weird. What was scary was that to do that and use the laser, they had to go complete dark on you, on your eyes. So you're sitting there with your eye, because they're only working on one at a time, your eyes wide open, and I don't know how they did it, what button they pressed, what machine they pressed. They took all the light away. And I'm sitting there with a wide open eye, and I can't see nothing. It's just, walking around in the dark. That's how it felt. Like I thought I was blind. And Zach, I started praying for about 5 minutes. Please, God, if this is it, just let me know. Give me a sign. I'm sitting there thinking, let me hear a doctor say oops or something, like, or cuss, or just like, give me a sign something's going wrong now. Is this right? A few minutes later, it started looking like it was pitch dark, and then it looked like you were looking at space. You started seeing like stars, and then all of a sudden there's like, hold on, and then boom, the light comes on, and then they put your eye back, and your eye, they don't like sew it back, it just like grows back into itself.
What the hell, man?
What if you was the first?
You ready to get LASIK now?
No, I was seriously thinking about getting it though in like a few years.
Everybody I tell that to, they're like, they have the same reaction you have, basically.
What if you was the first person to have to do that? God. Like you're the guinea pig. Yeah.
I felt like a guinea pig. I felt like these guys, I hope they know what they're doing. I'm sitting in Morganton getting it done, Zach. I'm in the middle of the North Carolina mountains here. I don't know where I'm about to end up. I know that's not the middle of the North Carolina mountains, folks, but it's on the way. But yeah, weird is all I can describe. But if I didn't have to go through those two type things that freaked me out a little bit, it's well worth it after. I'll put it that way. Well worth it after, because I never had to put the stupid contacts in. And I used to sleep in them and just leave them in all the time. I'm sure you probably do.
Nah, if I'm late, I take them out. Because I don't like waking up and my eyes sometimes being stuck.
Right. I just got used to them. I'm like, I'm just leaving these in. I'm not going to take them out every night. So you're not ready for the LASIK eye surgery?
Not now.
But Jameis should be, right?
Yeah.